In this video, let's take a look at standard LE.4. For this standard, we want to use logarithms to express the solution to AB to the CT power equals D. So an exponential form where A, B, C, and D are numbers, and we want to evaluate the logarithm using technology. So question number 1 states the bacteria in a certain petri dish grow at a rate modeled by P of T equals 2 to the 5T power, where P of T represents the number of bacteria in the dish and T represents the time in minutes since the introduction of the bacteria. Which equation can be used to determine how many minutes will pass before there are 68 bacteria in the dish, if the dish started with a single bacterium? Okay, so what we want to do is write out our function where we got some more room to work on it. So we want to see where this final amount would be 68. And so what we need to do is write it in log form. So I'm just going to move the 68 over here to the right. And then I'm going to use my little cloud pattern to write log base 2 of 68 is equal to 5 times t. And then we're keeping it in terms of log. So now I just need to divide both sides by 5. And I get log base 2 of 68 all divided by 5 would be equal to the time it takes. So that looks like answer choice C. So that's all we need to do for number 1. Number 2 says, what is the approximate solution to this equation? 159 minus 6 times 2/3 to the power of 8 minus x equals 87. So let's solve it and check it with Desmos. So the first thing I'm going to do is get the exponential part of this equation by itself. So I'm going to start that by subtracting the 159 because I want to get this part, including that negative, by itself. So it'll definitely help to subtract that out. So negative 6 2/3, 8 minus x is my exponent. And then I have 87 minus 159. So since we're going to use Desmos later anyway, I'm going to go ahead and use it for my calculator. So let's type in 87 minus 159 gives me negative 72. So another thing I can do to simplify is divide both sides by negative 6, since that's just the coefficient of this exponential part of my function. So 2/3, or equation, 2/3 to the 8 minus x power equals negative 72 divided by negative 6. So negative 72 divided by negative 6 gives me 12. Now I need to rewrite this in log form to finish solving because I have a exponent that includes my variable. And in order to get the variable out of the exponent, I need to use logs. Okay, so I have log. I take the base and make that my base of log. So log base 2/3 of 12 is equal to 8 minus x. So in your graphing calculator or in Desmos, you can type in the log with that little base number of 2/3 and then 12. And you get negative 6.1285. Let's just carry it out a little ways. And we get that's equal to 8 minus x. So I'm going to subtract 8 from both sides, and I get negative 14.1285 equals negative x. Since they're both negative, I can multiply both sides by -1. I could change both signs, or I could divide by -1. But either way, I'm going to end up with 14.13 approximately is equal to x, which is answer choice D. Now that is solving it with logs. You can also just type this directly into Desmos as a system of equations by typing in y equals what's on the left and y equals what's on the right. And then you want to find the x where they intersect is the way to solve it with Desmos. And we can also just check our answer that way. So it doesn't hurt to do it that way and make sure we haven't missed anything. So let's type in y equals what's on the left. So 159 minus 6 times 2/3 to the power of, and it's probably best to put this in parentheses, 8 minus x. In the next row, put y equals 87. Then we want to hit home and just zoom out a little bit to find where they touch up there at 87. So I can tell once again it is x equals 14.129, which is approximately 14.13. So we definitely have the right answer with D. Number 3 says, which equation is equivalent to log base 8 of x plus 7 equals 5? So all we need to do for this one is rewrite it into exponential form, because I can tell from my answer choices that that's what they've done over here. So we just have to have the right pattern. So that little cloud is very helpful. So we have 8 to the 5th power equals x plus 7, and that would just go with answer choice A. What you could do to check your answer for this one is you can actually type it in and check and make sure, because when things are equivalent in math, their graph should match. So let's just do a little double check here and type in log base 8 of x plus 7 equals 5 and hit home. Let's find where that one went. There it is. Okay. You just have to zoom out a little ways. Okay, so there it is. And then let's type 8 to the 5th power equals x plus 7. And notice if I turn off the green, I see the blue one. And if I turn off the blue one, I can see the green one. So they're overlapping each other. So they are definitely equivalent, and the answer is definitely A. Okay, so that is it for standard LE.4.